I worked for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department for over 20 years. It was a great career, but in finishing it up, I wasn't ready to, quit getting involved within the criminal justice program. So upon retiring, I understood that Broadview University was trying to grow its program, and they were looking for a way to develop it in a way that it was one of the best in the country. And they contacted me, and I was fortunate enough to be hired as one of the faculty, and fortunate enough now to be running the regional as their chair. At Broadview University, we have the associate's degree, bachelor's degree, as well as the master's degree. But what we've done that's kind of broke us away from some of our, other competitors, including the state universities, is the fact that we're catering to the working professionals. I went out there after doing the career that I did, and I looked at all of the state academies, all the police academies, post academies, and what we tried to do was we tried to cater a program to those officers that are working in the field that have already got their associate's degree. Many of them are wanting to get their bachelor's degrees. So what we do is we looked at their work transfer credits, looking at the courses that they don't necessarily have to take, try and expand on those work transfer credits. Certainly we offered this it's a peace officer scholarship to where we reduced the tuition. But more importantly, what we tried to do was to build that gap between, police in nature, they're shy of anything academic. They're always nervous of taking classes from academic professors that have never worked in the field, their boots not on the ground. So what we tried to do is we tried to go out and hire the professionals that are currently working, retired chiefs of police. We've got ex-FBI profilers. So we're getting people that are teaching these officers in the classroom that they respect and that they can actually share some experiences with. And that flexibility with the instructors, coupled with giving them the credit and respect for the classes that they've already taken in the academies, that's really what set us apart from a lot of the other universities here in the area. What I did first thing when I hit the ground here was I approached it from the point of view that I'm trying to build a career for these students rather than just give them the academic knowledge. And being involved in the hiring process within a police agency, it was quick to see that in the field of policing and in corrections, that we were really lacking in the abilities of communication skills. So our curriculum, we've really built on the communication skills, whether it's on the hiring process, on the ability just to go into an interview and be able to present themselves. That coupled with their writing proficiencies. It was amazing that seeing that a lot of the curriculum that's built into criminal justice that we just don't have enough based on just basic writing proficiencies. So the communication skills, the proficiencies, that was the two things that we really heavy loaded within our curriculum. But more importantly, what I tried to build into our curriculum is getting the job for these students was the easy part. Trying to keep that job was the more difficult. So we built in a lot of classes on ethics. We've got a lot of ethical standards of behavior classes to try and keep these people in the career field, because that's really where we're losing a lot of the professionals is based on the bad decision making once they get that job. So what really sets us apart from some of the other curriculum in some of the other universities is we really do have a lot more ethical standards class and the communication skills class within our curriculum. The most important personality trait that I want to see from prospective students that want to get into this career is really just having that strong desire to assist those people that are struggling. They've got to be doing this for that desire alone, because in many jurisdictions you're just not going to get paid well. Certainly the stress is going to be bad. So the biggest personality trait is that desire to really want to be out there and helping people. That's paramount. Second personality trait is really that fundamental desire to have those ethics. So I'm looking at a personality trait that they understand what it's like to treat and how to treat human beings and what's right and what's not right. So that's really the strongest personality traits that I look for in trying to make these students get a successful career. It's one thing to have an instructor have that that real life experience. It's a whole nother thing to have that instructor take them out into the communities and show them this is what you're going to be dealing with. So in all of our introductory classes, we do those field trips where I routinely take them to the homeless shelters. I routinely take them to the streets where we predominantly feed the people that are homeless and have a lot of mental illness, because every community is going to have a large portion of what we deal with that are mentally ill. And so I expose them to that. And that coupled with those instructors that have been there, they really get a grasp of what they're going to be doing in this profession. I would say the largest portion of them really want to get into parole and probation. And that's really the focus of us trying to get out there and show them what their clientele is going to be like. Many of them being released from custody, and a lot of their caseloads that they're going to be dealing with. So the majority will be parole and probation. A large proportion of them are going to be in the corrections, whether it's at the state prison facilities or in just the county lockups, the county jail system. So really the policing is probably the smaller of the three categories. Technology has certainly hit all of criminal justice, whether it's on the forensic sides, whether it's in the courtroom. The CSI, as far as gathering evidence, that's certainly going to be a whole nother area of concentration. In fact, people that, students that present themselves that are looking to get into some of that television CSI gathering of evidence, that's probably better situated in maybe another university doing a kind of science degree. But having said that, we certainly are faced with a growing cybercrime issue. And so what we've done here is we've coupled with the IT department. And so when we teach these cybercrime components, whether it's in child pornography or in a lot of this other stuff, we take our classes and we are requiring our criminal justice students to take those IT classes that get their feet wet in seeing what they need to do and understand in those types of crimes. So that's probably been the biggest growing component of the criminal justice, is that technology and cybercrime. It's hitting every jurisdiction, whether on the pornography side or just simply on the attacks on private companies. The future for criminal justice at our university, as well as all universities, is certainly going to be dealing with this economic crisis we're in. We're going to be here, we have to be here, but because the states are all devastated by their state budgets, we really have to look at all of the strategies that we're doing, whether the incarceration that we're doing, and really attack those things that we need to and back away from those things that we don't. And I think the toughest thing for criminal justice, we don't like to change. We like to do the things that we've been doing for 20 years. So really the growing future in this really needs to be teaching these students that if it's not working, leave it. Let's find a better way to do it. We can't afford to be doing it that way. Hit those things that are cost beneficial, leave the others behind. And that's going to be the future for criminal justice, because every governor, the largest portion of his budget's going to be, after education, is going to be the incarceration, corrections. So we really have to decide what we're going to focus on and what we're not going to focus on, whether it's the war on drugs and some of this other stuff. We have to really get them to where they need to break away from the idea that, we have to stay in that battle when it's just not working. There's got to be better ways. The best advice that I've seen since I've been here in this short time for any criminal justice student is really teaching you how to do your job within the department. The police academies are very good at that. For you to have a successful career, really, hone in on those skills with communication skills, your writing skills, and more importantly, just to understand what's inside of you, and it's going to take some ethics and a standard of behavior to succeed in this job. So that self-reflection of knowing what's right, what's wrong, and really understanding that on top of the stress that it's going to put on you and your family. And really a lot of students don't understand that when they come into the door, and then midway through the program they start looking and deciding maybe this is not meant for me. And it's not meant for everybody. So really take a good look at this is the requirements, and this is what's going to take and the personal toll on you before they undergo that time that they're going to put into the schooling that we give them.